Awesome shot.
Look at that. Get in. Oh,
Oh, close.
benchmark 7-iron. Now, Moo, most people watching would say, well, how do I repeat that? You know?
Right.
191 7-iron, right on the flag, landing a couple of feet away, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're here to tell you that you can't repeat that. Not exactly the same. Let us save you decades of frustration. We have some incredible scientific evidence to show you today that is really going to help you practice and get you stuff that really works for you so you can enjoy this amazing game the way we do. Hey everyone, Shawn and Moo,
Hey guys.
and we're going to have this amazing show for you. I want to show you why. This guy's been playing for 5 years. He's now in the top 40 in the world of long drive, and it's going to get better this year because we actually have equipment
That's right. Yeah.
that's putting Moo on the same playing field with it as everybody else.
Right.
You should see this guy hit irons. It is so amazing. You're going to watch him hit a 5-iron later on. It's one of my from my old left-handed set.
Yeah.
And you'll see how pure a 5-year-old swing can,
Develop.
get things done.
Yeah.
Because he didn't chase his tail trying to repeat the same old stuff that you hear, on the internet right now that is really detrimental to your progress. So we're here to change that, and this is what we're going to start with. Going through papers on motor skill learning and neurology can be a tedious task. I've been doing this since the early 2000s to help me teach you better golf. And the same old drum is being beaten time and again. Everybody is showing you this elbow position and that knee position, and and they're showing you all these make sures and watch outs, and yet you're not wired that way. You saw the thumbnail. I'm an adaptation machine. My lie, my wind conditions, my temperature, my body, so many endless factors that cause us to have to adapt to situations. For you to force the repetition card would be very detrimental to your game. And I know many of you listening are very, very frustrated about your game right now. We're going to change that right now. So there's been an amazing study on just a 1-foot putt that, under a PET scan, they were showing what parts of the brain were lighting up while they were doing this 1-foot putt. And they had a pro and an amateur do the study. The pro was a little bit more funnel. The same parts of the brain were lighting up in both cases, except 100 different brain scans for 100 putts that went in the hole. So you'd think the repetition is the task, rolling a ball into a hole on a tap in, but that every time you hit that putt, there's a feedback loop that comes back to the brain that changes your brain forever. And the very next time that the brain attempts that putt is not coming out the same way. It's using different, neural contacts. So how are we supposed to make sure? There's the conundrum. We can't make sure. So if you're coming down the stretch, you're at hole number 18 and your buddy says, hey man, if you par this hole, be the best game of your life by far, you'll finally break 80. If he's playing you for money, that he's definitely playing some mind games on you. And then all you have to do is stick to what you were doing throughout the course of the round. Now, for many of you, you don't even know what that is. You just know you were playing well, and then somebody woke you up before the end. So here you are trying to repeat that shot right here. Will my grip go back exactly in the same dimples on this grip? No. Will my spike marks go back exactly in the same spot on this mat? No. So my distance to ball, my ball position, all are going to be slightly different. And the very next swing that I make, because of the feedback that my brain just got, goes back into the machine, and it's trying to help me perform better on the next one. Sometimes it'll take a step back so I can take 2 steps forward. You never know when that's going on. That's why we have a short game. So I go back to, hey, I want to hit a draw. And here's my intermediate point. And here is my setup that's going to allow me to deliver in there. How do I know my setup matches that? So everything you do has to be related to you sending that ball into that picture with that flight plan. So my ball position, if it was too far back, I would feel the need to reach back to go right edge. If it's too far forward, I have to lunge forward to keep it from going left. If I'm too far, I'm going to have to go at the ball. I can't go at the target anymore. If I'm too close, I'm going to have to hang on and try to finagle something to get the ball to go that way. So right now, my ball position, my distance to ball, my grip club relationship are telling me that I have access to that shot right there that I'm trying to hit. Will I be able to repeat that shot? I don't know. Let's find out. So what's my best chance? I need to deliver through here and out there. And this is where you're going to see this next study coming up that's really going to help you do that. So let's first start out by watching if I can repeat that. Here we go. Yes, I'm going that way. Yes, I'm going that way. So the flavor is the same. That one overdrew a little more. I really, absolutely pasted that. So gorgeous draw. My carry on that was 194 instead of 191. Had a little bit more side spin on that. So many of you are going to say, well, I kind of overdrew that ball. Maybe I should open the face a little bit. Well, that would be a knee-jerk reaction. Why? Well, the very next grip I take and my ball position and my distance to ball is going to be slightly different. So then now when I send my swing in that direction again, another really solid shot and very similar result. So I've got 1,150 spin left, 190 yards carry on that one. That's similar. So if I do one more like that, yep. So that tells me that my grip club relationship is just a little bit too close. So now I've got a little pattern going on. So if I get that just a hair weaker and then perform that same task, there we go. So now I've got a golf shot that's way more palpable. So I had to see if I had a pattern first while I stayed with my task of going into that picture. Now I've learned something that's really, really good. So when you're adjusting your swing on the driving range prior to going to the golf course, these are the things that you want to be listening to, okay? But don't try to have a knee-jerk reaction to one single shot prior to delivering, because you may have very much the opposite effect. So now that we know I can't repeat, therefore I can't make sure, all I can do is deliver my action and see what happens. So how am I supposed to improve then? Well, for many of you, you'd think, oh man, I hit that, I'm not having perfect shots. It's amazing. I mean, when we have a student that comes in here and they said, yeah, but I hit a left. And then we show them on the simulator that they were 15 feet to the left of the flag.
Right.
And I'm going, well, Scotty Scheffler's average is 21 feet.
Yeah.
Proximity to hole with a pitching wedge.
Yeah, set the expectation high.
Let's manage those expectations a little bit right now, right?
That's it.
So what we want to do is we want to be able to deliver consistently into what we want. So here's where I have the example for a dart team. So they took a dart team in this motor skill learning experiment, and they've done that with basketball. They did that with tennis. My favorite's the dart team. So they split a dart team in half. First half, they said, you guys focus only on the bullseye, Ignore the rest of the board. We're going to do bullseyes for an hour a day for 2 weeks. So they measured before and after. And then they're being paid for that, to do it an hour a day for 2 weeks, right? Team number 2, make sure you repeat the same action with your arm, same angles, same wrist, all that stuff. After 2 weeks, team number 1, 15% more bullseyes. So you'd think after 3 days, you'd know if you're improving or not. You have no idea. After 2 weeks, you may have an inkling, but generally you wouldn't have any idea. But when they show you the dispersion patterns and they're 15% closer to the bullseye after 2 weeks, you're going, holy crap, this works, right? So now you'll be able to continue without being paid because you know that stuff works. Whereas team number 2 was 23% worse. This is really important to understand for your golf swing. So how do we do that with the golf swing? Well, we have tasks here at Wisdom in Golf that we put you into. One of the tasks that we just did very recently was taking a simple Band-Aid, which is what would be the equivalent of a divot for a golfer off a mat here. I'm going to take that Band-Aid and I'm going to whip it into my screen. So if I put the Band-Aid on the ground here in front of you, if I set up over here, I got to lunge for it. That doesn't work. If it's too far back, I got to reach back for it. So naturally, I'm going to have a tendency to put the Band-Aid in a spot that it would be very easy to peel off the ground. So notice how I would have started peeling here and I would have ended peeling there. The Band-Aid would have gone to the target. So where do I put the ball? Well, I would definitely put the ball back here. And if I send the Band-Aid to the target, the ball is obviously going to get really well struck. So a simple task in a simple direction, and we're going to use momentum to do that. What does that mean? Well, if I had a machete and my full-time job was to cut bamboo shoots all day, I would not use force to do my work, especially if I had to last the day. I would use the weight of my sword with some momentum to get through it. So if I use momentum to whip my Band-Aid, which is sitting right here in front of the ball, into that picture, what would that feel like? So I've got my intermediate point. I'm going to do a practice swing above the ball and watch the blur of my club. Notice the blur? We are circle-making machines. The club is attached to the shaft is attached to my hands, the hands are attached to my shoulder. Where do you want that to go? It's just going to make circles. So if I take that and I create a nice circle in the direction that I want the ball to go, well, now my alignment's good, my ball position's good, my distance to ball is good. So what's left? Well, I'm going to use momentum to send the Band-Aid in that direction. Gather, send. And I'm going, wow, that really felt good. You noticed I haven't mishit one yet? Because I've been practicing task-based stuff into specific directions. So here we are again, 192 carry. So every one of my shots was between 190 and 194 carry. Every one of them was very close to the center of my club face, if not center. So if I stay here for the next 2 weeks and send Band-Aids in that direction through that arc blur, I'm going to be 15% better. 15% more in the center of the face, 15% better trajectory, and then the rest is just an observation as to how open or closed my club face needs to be. See where we're getting now? Now we're getting to a position where we can be very consistent because the brain has myelinated these conduits into, you know, the sections of my body that are required for me to send a simple Band-Aid or a divot or grass clippings in that direction. So if I perform that and I go, wow, I kind of hit it thin. What was it? Maybe I wasn't forward enough. maybe my arms were too low, maybe I didn't fold my elbow at the right place. You will find a golf instructor that's going to show you how defective you are day in and day out. Whereas in our school, there isn't anything that you can do wrong. We're just going to put you in the right focus and state of mind to deliver into a picture. And then we let this beautiful God-given machine do the rest. And then we just make beautiful observations. So I'm going to show you Moo now. Moo's golf swing is 5 years old. He's an infant when it comes to this game, right? Many of you have been playing this game for 40 years and you're still frustrated. Moo, he finds his swing every single day. He doesn't even know what a slump is. See, I couldn't even remember the word because I haven't had a slump in my swing for decades because I've been focusing on the right things and I've been teaching my students to do the same. That's why we have an amazing success rate. So let's have Moo come in here and hit a few 5-irons. Let's give you Moo's favorite task, still to this day. He says, once he understood how to match the compression of the ball to the picture,
Yeah.
we had Moo take volleyballs and pound volleyballs into the net at one point. Then he realized, oh my gosh, I'm compressing the volleyball into the target. Mm-hmm. And then when we put a ball up against the door frame like this, go ahead and set up, Moo.
Okay.
So we line up this door frame in the direction that we want the ball to go.
Yeah.
So Moo's going to collect the ball up against the door frame. He understands that the ball's going to compress against the frame, stay on the club for a little bit, then release from it. So the point at which the ball comes off the face is on the other side of this hammer. So go ahead and do a backswing there, Moo. Come on down in slow motion, show me what a collecting impact would look like. Look at that. So notice the face of the club is slightly open here. Mm-hmm. Notice his hands are in front. And notice where the ball would come off. Yeah, right about here. Sorry, Moo.
Yeah.
That's where the ball would come off. And that's what gives you that collect and release, same way as a hockey player or a tennis player.
That's right.
So Moo's mind is not ball to door frame, it's ball through door frame into the picture.
That's right.
So he has a very dynamic sense of what it's supposed to do, right?
Yeah, it's very important.
So Moo has a very specific intermediate point.
A little thin.
There we go. So a little thin to win, right?
That's right, yeah.
Can Moo repeat that same exact thin shot? No.
No.
What's he going to do about it? Nothing. He's going to go back to lining up his door frame to the direction that he wants to start the ball.
That's right.
Then he's going to use these big freaking pipes of his to compress that ball through the door frame. There we go.
So there's a pattern.
So we got, there we go, 3 in a row. Mm-hmm. That started left and stayed out there. I mean, still the side spin, it was still 117 left.
Yeah.
So you're hitting a little bit of a push fade.
Yeah.
So we just need to get that face a little more closed.
Correct, yeah, that's right.
So there are 2 ways.
Yeah.
Either you're not releasing because, you know, you had a speed session today and then you took a break.
Yeah.
And now you're doing a video with me.
Yeah.
Which I very much appreciate.
No problem.
And so how do we put the oil back in the release? And that's actually one of the drills that you use in speed training.
That's right, yeah, the sword drills.
The sword drill. So very, very easy drill to go with. Mm-hmm. We turn the club upside down like we're slashing a sword.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do that with your left hand, Moo.
Okay.
Give it a slash. You feel how the weight of the club is releasing that left hand over.
Yeah.
So there's no control on your behalf.
Yeah.
And then if you put the right hand on top of the left hand,
yeah.
Now for the right hand to stay on the left hand, it's got to yield properly on the way through.
That's correct, yeah.
So did you feel how the right arm is releasing under?
Yeah.
To allow that left hand to release over.
Yeah, I'm feeling that.
So let's see if that's the case.
Okay.
So we're going to let momentum release you through the hammer that way.
Yeah, against the door frame.
So it's one feel in one direction.
Yeah, that's the one.
Ah, there it is.
So that was just missing the release on those ones.
There you go.
Yeah.
How about that? And now we're at 230.
Yeah.
That's my my old 5-iron, which is my 190 club. Moo's only 40 yards longer than me on, and he's just on cruise control right now. So notice the flight came down.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have 800 spin to the right.
Yeah.
So we're staying with the task.
Correct.
We're
That's right.
throwing the dart.
Yeah.
We're observing. We're seeing a pattern first.
That's right.
And then we make adjustments based on that pattern.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that is how we go about things. So when we make an adjustment to your backswing, it's because that adjustment is needed for you to deliver that way with that contact.
That's for sure. Yeah.
It's not a theory based on an assumption as to, oh, we need to have that, angle or whatever.
That's right. Yeah, for sure.
And here you are thinking about where is that club in the backswing, and then you have no idea what you're going to use that for. And then you chase your tail forever, right? So everything that you do in the backswing has to relate to the shot that you have in front of you.
Big time. Yeah.
And there's how we purpose the practice swings. There's how we gather the right sensations. So we have an amazing way to get you guys to feel and see what you're trying to do so it matches up with the shot that you're trying to hit. Because bottom line, that shot's going to give you birdies and pars.
Easily. Yeah.
Or eagles.
Or eagles too.
In your case.
Yeah.
And, something that, is going to be very erratic where contact and direction is all over the map. You don't know why, you can't put your finger on it. That's a very, very frustrating situation. So we hope that gives you a really good indication of what you're trying to do. Again,
Yeah.
look at that.
Pretty Yeah. Thanks, Shawn.
5 years old. He's 5 years old in golf, right? And it took me a lifetime to get to that particular stage right there, which I did basically about 20 years ago. So for a couple of decades now, I haven't had a slump in my swing.
Yeah.
And that's what we want for you. We want you to enjoy the game at its fullest and really evolve in the right direction. So for more, stick around. Next week we have another video coming your way. Please subscribe to the channel. Leave us a comment below. Let us know your frustrations, and then we'll help you along. All the best.